Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Tekpon. Today our guest is Bastian, the CEO at Dealfront. Hello.
Hey Christian, nice to be here.
Very nice to meet you. Please tell us, what is Dealfront?
Sure. So Dealfront is a go-to-market platform to win leads and close deals in Europe. So technically, we have different applications and data that we combine into helping B2B customers find the right companies in their ideal customer profile, reach out to them, and win new business. So website visitor identification, prospecting for target accounts and contacts, and then also outreach solutions and B2B advertising to capture buyers in their buying journey.
What would you say is the biggest problem that you solve for B2B companies?
Yeah, so a lot of companies need to grow their business, and we help them do this. So it's a very obvious and natural problem to solve, but the asymmetry of information is probably what we are after. So you don't typically know what companies and contacts are out there in the market looking for your solution. So we help you uncover the types of businesses that you weren't aware of, but then also help you reach out to the right person at the right time. And this is also technically supported through our platform tools.
Can you walk us through the products that you offer in the
Yeah,
Dealfront
sure.
platform?
So as you might know, so Dealfront is a very new brand. We just merged our two companies, Echobot and Leadfeeder, both of which have been in the market for 10 years. And let's maybe start with the Leadfeeder part of the product, which now is called Web Visitors application. So you would install a tracking script on your website, and then we would uncover and help you identify by the IP address, like which company is actually looking at which page, maybe your pricing, maybe a product, and then put that to a list. And this list is then a list of leads that you can put to our Connect application, and we will tell you who are the right people to connect to, therefore the name, and we also give you contact details. So if you are interested in the marketing leader, for example, then we would tell you who that is based off the website, LinkedIn, and other public sources, but then also give you means to reach them via email, phone, or LinkedIn. And then if you have success with reaching out to them, winning the opportunities, we can also run a B2B lookalike analysis with our target application and tell you, hey, here's a bunch more, here's 500 more customers that look just like those that you have successfully closed, therefore
That,
multiplying your business opportunities.
that's awesome. That's awesome. And how about the Echobot part?
Yeah, this is the connect and the target piece is coming from the Echobot piece. So we have integrated everything into the Dealfront platform right now. So it doesn't really matter where you start. You could also, for example, start from your ICP. One very common problem that you have is that you people have a lot of SDRs, and nowadays with all the AI tech and GPT based outreach and cadencing, everybody's very busy getting a lot of spam. So what we, for example, have introduced recently is our new application called Promote, where we run B2B ads against those IP addresses because we know them, we can identify them, but also it works the other way around. So if you say these are 100 customers that I want to raise the awareness of my brand, then we can show specifically your ads to those decision makers in those companies. And that has been tremendously successful for running very, very efficient B2B advertising campaigns, for example. So it's all integrated.
What did you say is the most loved feature?
Obviously, if you want to know who is the right decision maker in a company, that's tremendously important. So getting to the right decision maker with the right contact data, that is typically what people love, but then also having the ability to multiply your successes. So if you are a sales rep and you just won a deal, then this typically is a very good testimonial or a very good war story that you can use in your next conversation. So you want to have ideally exactly the same company in the maybe a competitor even that you can tell, hey, I just closed them because this is how we help them. Can we also help you? And this makes selling so much easier because then you can start from a point of relevancy in your conversation. So we really love marketing people, sales people, and making them successful on an everyday basis.
And can you share with us some examples of happy customers?
Yeah, definitely. So we do have a lot of customers, for example, in the software space. We have tire companies like Michelin and then other big corporations from Deutsche Telekom to T-Systems and other IT companies, recruiting agencies that want to solve for both sides of the market. So you want to find companies that run job ads, for example, but then also you want to find the right candidates that may work at a competitor. So you can use the system actually to solve for both sides of that coin. So that is very good customer group. But then also like mechanical engineering companies that sell a very specific use case. So let's think about like you're selling printing presses, right? Someone that is coming to your website, they are not there by accident. Like they want to buy a printing press, otherwise they wouldn't be here. So knowing like that dark funnel, so that 90% of the traffic that is not converting on your form, even though they are interested, that is really tremendously powerful. So we help customers all the time with very specific solutions solving for that, like a lot of special interest mechanical engineering stuff in these companies.
How important do you think is buyer intent data for them?
I mean, it depends on what type of buyer intent data you're talking about. So there is like, I mean, three types. So you can say third-party content buyer intent. So someone clicked on, I don't know, an article about security. That is something that is solved by other solutions like Bombora and the likes. We don't think of this as powerful as maybe the first party intent if somebody's actually visiting your website. I think if you know what they looked at, how often they come through, if they looked at the pricing page or not, that certainly becomes much more qualified and that's much more actionable. So we are more in that camp that we help you understand what's actually happening and the bottom of the funnel and not trying to skirt like a big number of possible candidates that then everyone's after because Bombora is selling them to like 1 million customers of theirs at the same time.
And
With the
you're also
searching
planning
intent.
to do paid ads, right? Based on IP, retargeting ads.
Yeah, that is the promote product, but that works the other way around. So you would, um, like, for example, if somebody is on your website and you know they are interested, but you cannot reach them or you don't want to immediately follow up, then you can still run an advertising campaign against those and then see whether they still click back on your website. And that then is a second signal that is like emphasizing the buyer intention even more so. And then maybe the SDR should reach out.
Okay, makes total sense. And what is the pricing for Dealfront?
Yeah, so we do start with our basic plan at 200 euros a month. It's mostly the web visitor solution and a limited access prospecting use case. But then if you go to the more, let's say, mid-market level, you would have to pay like $1,000 per month, so 9.99. That's our sweet spot. And with that, that's the pro plan. You can get almost everything. Obviously, if you want to run B2B ads, there is an additional ad spend on top of the basic fee. But 12K a year gets you very far.
Yeah. And how competitive is your space?
I mean, it is very competitive. You have the big players like ZoomInfo and Cognism, and then also the more like affordable options like Lasha and Apollo on the lower end. But then there is different solutions, even like from Gong to SalesLoft to Outreach to Sixth Sense, all of them specifically serving a specific niche of that whole ecosystem, which is why we chose to build a platform so that we can build our own applications and data that work seamlessly together, or B, partner with other applications to make that whole go-to-market funnel work for you.
And now the big question that everybody awaits. Why did you choose to merge the two companies, Leadfeeder and Echobot?
Yeah, we saw exactly that need, that the solutions that work in the future are integrated, that you don't want to patch together with Zapier like 20 different single things. And customers, frankly, also need to integrate data and applications. And even if you like choose SalesLoft, it's still empty, right? Even like you have to like pull the data from somewhere, put it to the system, and then also learn from it. But if you own both sides of the coin, like the data and the application, then you can build automations and learn from it we call it the flywheel effect, so that we automatically can see what works for you and suggest even better selections and better criteria, better attributes to choose from in the future. And I think that is where the power came from. And Leadfeeder gave us that feedback loop. So we had the database and we had the outreach capability, but we didn't see who came back to the website and who actually resonated with the message. So this is why we merged the companies, because now we can close the loop and spin up that flywheel for your go-to-market outreach.
So your complementary business is not competitors, but
Definitely. I mean, like people have used these types of solutions in the past in conjunction all the time. So we had customers using Leadfeeder already, but like Leadfeeder in the beginning didn't give the person the contact level details. They just like resolved for the company. So with our B2B database, we could actually like fill that gap very easily. And now we are integrated fully, so it's even more compelling to opt for the solution.
And originally, which team were you a part of?
I was the founder of Echobot, and Pekka is the founder of Leadfeeder, and then we have a stellar team of other managers that are helping us, 335 people to be exact in total right now,
Wow.
to manage those folks. So we are growing rapidly, and actually, if somebody is interested in joining our mission, there is like job ads on the website right now.
Awesome. And when did you start the company?
I started the company in 2011. So Echobot was founded like 12 years ago, and I think Leadfeeder was founded 2012 or very similar. So both brands have been in the market for a long time, like over 10 years, which is also pretty interesting because that growth trajectory took us to where we are today, and now we are to get much bigger together. So for all of us, it's like a new chapter. It's like a new beginning with a Dealfront brand, and we are tremendously excited to be able and allowed to like run a company that is now like triple the size. Like when we merged, we were both like 120-ish people, so we merged to be 240, but then we hired another 100, so we are 335 right now. So
Wow.
it's growing rapidly in just 1 year. Like the company was totally different like a year or a year and a half ago.
And you're the CEO. What position did Pekka take?
He's the group chief product officer, so the CPO. I think like we had agreed that I'm more of a showman, so to speak. So I like throwing myself out there and like evangelizing about our mission and the vision. So he's more into the product and really loves to like pull together the data and the applications and make that work, and obsessing over the KPIs and the conversion rates and whatnot. So like it's a very good mix, and
Awesome.
no hard feelings. So
Awesome. Awesome. What's something that you wish you'd known before the merger?
how long it takes? I mean, we have officially merged, like the contract was signed exactly yesterday a year ago. No,
Wow.
2 day, like Friday a year ago.
Wow.
So like the first half a year, we gave the team time to get to know each other. We had this big team week, which was a event where we flew like 200 something people to Split, Croatia, and had this big get together, so everybody can get to know each other, get to know the processes, and then we started from there building up a plan. And the official Dealfront launch of the new joint brand was in April 3rd. So it took a year, but we needed that year. Like if you had asked me in the beginning, I would say, hey, we can do this maybe in 6 months. But like honestly, it was a big undertaking. Maybe if the companies are smaller, that's easier, more easily done. And also what's special in our case is it's a kind of like a merge of equals. So both companies were the same size, and we
Yeah.
wanted to create something new. I think it's easier if one just gobbles up the other, but then like you might lose some people. So I'm actually very excited that we could like bring the teams together and create something new that everybody can stand behind now. But
And
it took more time than expected.
I understand. Thank you for sharing. But at the beginning, did you keep it private, or did you share it directly from day one that
No,
you merged?
even before,
Ah,
like we
wow.
didn't like jump on a wagon and say let's get married. Like we had to date first a little bit. So even before the merger, um, last year we had like we spent like 5 months with the teams, with the management, getting to know each other, building a business plan, a joint business plan, and to see whether that works or not, whether it makes sense. And only after we were very certain and also like came to an agreement with our great investor, Great Hill Partners, to make this work together. Only then we pulled the trigger. So it took a while, even before the actual announcement. But yeah, when the announcement happened, like a day later, everybody knew, at least in the company.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. What is the culture at Dealfront?
Yeah, so we are a remote first company. So we have, as I said, 335 employees right now from all over the world. So while our headquarters is here in Karlsruhe, where I'm at right now in Germany, only like 80 or so people are actually in the office, while everybody else is working remotely. And even the C-level management, like Pekka lives in Spain, Herko, the CTO, lives in Helsinki, I live in Karlsruhe, Kevin, our CRO, lives in Italy. So we are like fully remote, fully flexible. We even won an award for that, how flexible our work arrangements are, and we love to entertain people from multiple cultures, different languages. I think we speak across the board like 26 different languages. So it's quite a diverse group, and it's great fun to see. And you have friends everywhere. Wherever I go in Europe, I can meet up with some people from the company, so it's fun.
Nah, that's fantastic. Wow. Awesome, awesome. And what can you tell us about the funding before the merger and now? And yeah.
Yeah, so we like both companies were, I would say, pretty much bootstrapped. So Echobot did raise 750K as a, you could say Series A, but it was back in 2012, so the rounds were much smaller. Leadfeeder raised roughly 3.5 million, but both companies entered the agreement being jointly profitable. So we were at a slight win, like 1 million plus or something, and Leadfeeder was at a slight loss, but not more than that. So
Yeah.
jointly we were like break even, you could say. And this is because we have that bootstrap DNA, like we grow the company from the cash flow, like you do in a SaaS world where you like have annual contracts, you collect the cash up front, you grow the business, and that is pretty much the starting point of our new investment. And we raised like 180 million plus 50 million for further acquisitions to the platform. Um, but this money could now go into growing the company. So we didn't need to, like a lot of these unicorn startups need to pay the bills with the money, like to keep the lights on. We could actually invest into growth. And this is, I think, also with the current market environment, the right thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. What has been your biggest personal challenge since starting the company?
um, so I just became a second-time father. So my younger one was born 6 weeks ago, and that coincided very like delicately
Yeah.
with the launch of the Dealfront platform. So like while my wife delivered one baby, I had the feeling that I delivered another like 2 weeks later. So it was like very intense time. And also, if you have a newborn, like the lack of sleep is killing you, obviously, if you wake up every 2 hours. So it's a stressful time, to be very frank. But we will manage. I mean, it's a great thing. Like I can't complain. I have a great company. I have two healthy children, so I'm very happy. But obviously, also personally challenging times.
Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate the transparency. And what is the future vision for Dealfront?
Yeah, so we definitely want to become a unicorn company. So we want to, from a sizing perspective, like grow to like above 100 million in ARR. But then also, and we are just like if we continue the trajectory that we have been on from the last 5 years, we will get there. Like it's not easy, obviously, but we will definitely get there. So I'm very convinced that this is totally doable. But then also we want to build the best like go-to-market platform in Europe that we can. I mean, in the US there is like big players, as I said, like Dun Bradstreet, Six Sense, ZoomInfo. But in Europe the market is really fragmented, and you have to sell differently in France than in Berlin, than in Bavaria, even
Yeah.
like even within Germany. And then there is a lot of different cultures and markets and data to be solved for. And I think we have a very good shot at being the winning player, the winning platform for go-to-market in Europe. And that is like our entire focus now to win that game.
I'm rooting for you. Yeah. What has been your best growth tactic for gaining new customers?
Yeah, so I mean, we do obviously what everybody else is doing, like doing cold calling and doing B2B advertising. We have our own product for that, but then also the usual like Google ads and social ads like LinkedIn and stuff. But what I would say is still doing a lot of cold outreach. I know that in these times specifically, people don't typically like this, but what I find very interesting is that you have like a confirmation bias if you only go through inbound. Like, so you put out some ads, some content, some like premise or thesis on LinkedIn and a post or whatever, and then you will like some people will resonate with it and they will confirm like whatever you have put out there and maybe they are interested or not. But if you are cold calling and you're pitching, like you learn so much more, so much faster because you have to be very concise. Your messaging has to be very straight to the point, and people will tell you to the face if it's bullshit. So, like the learning effects of cold calling are very tremendous, and I still love that we have a big SDR team. Shout out to Stuart that is doing this on an everyday basis and help us learn and grow and like fine tune our messaging also in different markets because you have to have different messaging in different territories.
I never thought of it that way, but wow, it's amazing. I love to hear your backstory. So, how you started your career?
My career. So I'm 38 right now, and I started, I would say, being an entrepreneur when I was 16. So I founded a gaming company still in the Web 1.0 era. So I wanted to get like computer games for free. So I started like a review site and put that up. And then suddenly I ran some ads for some sponsors and whatnot. And suddenly I asked my mom, hey, how do you write an invoice for 2,000 euros? And she was very like surprised that as a 16-year-old you could like make money on the internet. So I sold that first business to an ISP in Germany at the age of, I don't know, 19 or 20. And then built Germany's biggest press release distribution service. It's called Pressbox. It's like PR Newswire, but for the German market in the IT and industry space. So that went well while I studied. And then I founded, like there was some other stuff in between, but then I founded Echobot as a media monitoring company, actually. So we wanted to know like how the brands in the market are perceived from their customers, like which media outlets are writing about them. And this went well for the first 2 to 3 years, but then we found out that the data and the information about those companies that we are sitting on, that we had collect with our crawlers, is actually much more interesting, and which is why we then pivoted the company to come towards the sales intelligence space, which is then how everything unfolded to now become Dealfront.
I understand. What's your favorite SaaS product apart from Dealfront?
My favorite SaaS product, I
Yeah.
have to say Asana. Like I have been, I don't know, maybe the first or one of the first German users of Asana. Like I have used it even in the beta phase. I have a shirt from Asana from the very, even before the launch, that when they had the old logo still. And I've been following that company ever since. I might have to disclose that I do own a bit of stock. Like I just bought it, like not an investor or so, but like
Yeah.
on but basically that is a SaaS company that I love. Like I love the product. I love what Dustin has done with it.
Thank you for sharing. What's your best piece of advice for a starting founder?
I mean, the Nike slogan always comes to mind, like just do it, because like you there is so much advice out there, specifically today, where you can not only like read these business books, but like follow a lot of gurus on TikTok and YouTube and whatnot, and can get into like yourself immersed into the podcast. Like I love the My First Millions and all the other like jazz, like also the from Guy Raz, what's the name of the podcast? Like How I Built This, like great stuff. Like I love hearing these stories, but these are just like telltales. Like you cannot replicate one-to-one what those people have been doing. So you can get inspiration and advice in a sense, like maybe how they have reacted, but you have to force your own path through the jungle, so to speak. So if you not start like cutting like the leaves away, then you can never know where it takes you. So just get started, and then if you're really wanting to do this, like things will unfold for you.
This podcast was fantastic. I wanted to know if you have anything else to share today.
Yeah, so just if you are interested in growing your own business in Europe, like dealfront.com is a very cool platform, and we would love to give you like a free trial and take us for a spin. Like we are there for you and all of you that want to grow your businesses.
Thank you so much, Bastian. You did great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christian.